Good morning, everybody. All right, let me get the music turned down. One sec. There we go. Turn the tunes on down. Welcome in, everybody. Happy Wednesday, midweek, all the shenanigans. Yeah, there's a lot going on. There's quite a bit going on where the game has been quite problematic in some ways. I'll be honest. If you're a G2 through G4 player, it actually rolled off without a hitch. If you're G5 and above, the Outpost situation has been rough. Okay, so that is what it is. We're going to acknowledge that. So we're going to talk about what does the comp chest need to look like? Because yes, there absolutely has to be a comp chest. Beyond that, we're going to talk about the calendar that's here. We're going to talk about the mechanic. For those who have questions about the mechanic, I put out another video this morning going over officers and crews that work. So that's handy. And in fact, if you haven't seen that yet, the spreadsheet has been updated. So you can check that out on our Discord in the volunteer charge channel, or to check out today's video. This is linked in the description down below. But we're gonna go through all different things, try to help everybody out. Yeah, the spreadsheet was fun. I actually enjoy going. I know I'm weird. I play Starship Fleet Command and I like math, but I actually enjoyed testing out officers, making sure certain things worked, etc. So yeah, that was a thing. That was a thing. Now, Zolatan asked the big question: are Outpost Assaults 2.0? I'll be honest, I don't think so. We've still not seen something that bad, and I actually commented this to somebody this morning, like, recency bias is a thing. Like, as you're experiencing something being bad, you naturally go, this is the worst thing that's ever happened. I don't think this is Assaults level bad, but it is really, really, really bad. How bad is it, you might ask? Well, let's use the Overlord's own words starting from yesterday of all the problems, right? Again, I'm not going to sit here and tell you all things are honky-dory. In fact, I've actually already talked to the Overlords yesterday, passing along feedback about problems and bugs and making sure they're aware of all the issues that were happening here in STFC with the Outpost release. That said, there's a heck of a lot more people doing Outpost right now than there were doing Assaults when they rolled out. So I can't say that it's Assaults 2.0 because clearly people are engaging in it right now, but that doesn't mean that I think Outposts are good. Outposts definitely has been an extreme problem to roll out. But let's get a big shout out to all those who are here in the channel. I want to say a big thank you for y'all existing. Shout out to Responsibility, Braindig, Ossis, James Vaga, Tony Lopez, Caleb, Christopher, Paul, Dozer, Rash, Darush, Zolartan, Unial, good to see you, Tony, Christopher, Ken Slayer, Joseph, Kevin's, Mark, my purchases. You stay away from my purchases, okay? Miss Joanne, Emperor Hot Dogs, Sethan, Cass, everybody, EM, all y'all, welcome into the stream. We'll try to get all your questions answered today, do all the different things, and I'll go ahead and put the calendar up on the screen as well. This will be posted in my Discord and on Facebook and stuff after the stream. In fact, somebody pinged me to remind me to do that, to put this up on the places, because I have a tendency to forget when everything gets going and gets crazy. So we're gonna go through all the different things, try to address every issue you have, and then in the meantime, I've literally got territory happening because there's always something going on in STFC. We thought this was going to have a little bit of combat in this one. Turns out not the case. The alliance that has it has decided to just give it to Horde. So shout out to Horde on server 17. If you're looking to escape all the crud, by the way, you're like, hey, I'm really annoyed by things like, for example, the Outpost new mechanic. Look, I know not everybody can do it. Sunk cost fallacy is a real thing. Some of you just don't like the idea of restarting. But I say this loudly, and with an alliance that has had a lot of people come through and say the same thing. You want to have fun, restart the game, ignore FOMO, come join us over on server 710 in Horde, and come check it out. But yeah, let's go. let's start jumping into things. And what I do want to start with is what we had up on the screen before. Start with some of the problems that we've been having. So we want to share an update on a few issues the team is currently investigating. This was as of yesterday. That was Outposts not attacking after 5+ rounds, the Armada limit hitting, clearing localization, causing the game to freeze, the promo code not working, which the promo code is working now. I need to actually put those out as well. Then they came out with this one for fixes from different solo Outpost issues. Then they came out with one literally this morning. This one's from this morning. It says, we know this release has not met expectations, and we want to be transparent with where things stand. Team is investigating the following: corrupted outposts stuck on the final hostile, maximum Armada limit reached, ships that cannot be recalled, and the occasional station combat malfunctions. The real question I think that needs to be answered here: how big does the comp, and I ask this sincerely, answer it honestly. What does the comp chest need to have to make up for all the problems that we've been experiencing with this? I mean, this is pretty much the definition of it. Stop! Bring it. That light, I've just kind of left it because it's become kind of part of the channel. The light not working. I have a working light. I just, for whatever reason, I keep using the broken one. It's like I feel for it. Anyway, what does the comp have to be for what has essentially been, for G5, G6, and G7 players, a completely broken and unreliable mechanic to start the game? Now, the good side of this is technically, chat, over half of the game have actually gotten a really good release. And I know you don't want to hear that, but I do want to speak to the positive before we get too deep into the negative, because I have a feeling, just a feeling, this stream is going to be pretty negative considering what's going on. And by the way, if you haven't already, this upcoming Saturday, we have State of the Game podcast with myself, Zero, Major Samo. We're going to give you the deets, including behind the scenes deets of what's going on. But when I say it's working, the causality is actually going quite well. This loop has been very nice. Now, I, as you can see, been doing my events and stuff. This rolled out flawlessly. Look, there are definitely some opinions based on, different level players who say, hey, maybe I don't really like it at level 25, but like the general premise of this is fantastic for the lower level players. It's actually giving them a battle pass focused on them. That's actually pretty good. This is a nice improvement to the lower level gameplay, and their stuff rolled out fine. Right? Now, are there things here and there that might be needing adjustment, blah, blah, blah? Of course. It's Star Trek Fleet Command, ladies and gentlemen. I think we've long given up the hope of things being quote-unquote perfect. But the actual lower level passes, really nice. It's helping people get more things. It's helping them progress. And it's, focused on what loops do you need to catch up on. That's actually quite good. It's nice to see that they can launch something well on day one, because for you level 51 and above players, you did not get that same experience. Now, I saw a couple people in the chat saying that theirs is working fine, which congratulations that your outposts are working fine. If your outposts are working fine, go enjoy your outpost. Obviously, we're not talking about you, but most players I've run into had issues. In fact, in yesterday's Twitch stream, we do a battle pass giveaway stream every month. And in that stream, I actually did testing to purposely try to break it, and I broke it several times to confirm issues that players have been experiencing. And that's not, that's not ideal, first of all. But beyond being ideal, it's very frustrating given the state of where the game has been out with events. In fact, this is the first feature that, game design is actually probably, I would argue, is the first feature that's dropped the ball in a few months. It's mostly been live ops that have been dropping the ball, and now it's the features that have dropped the ball, and it's been rough. Let's just say what it has been. Ms. Joanne says, I'm doing my first outpost now, and it seems perfectly fine. I do think it's something to set off when you go to bed, though. Yeah, completely understandable. The thing with the outpost is, if you want to take advantage of the buffs, which you have to activate while you're doing the outpost, you need to do them during the day. If you just simply want to run them as a passive mechanic, yeah, you could do that, and it's honestly not that big of a deal. I am probably going to be team passive mechanic. Again, not that I'm trying to be, negative Nancy or anything. I can't see any value in the buffs. We'll switch to the other account and you can see it here in a second. Don't worry. I got to get multiple accounts going. But I don't really see the big value in the buffs themselves. They just don't seem very good. So I'm going to run that over the night. But how many people 2 months from now are going to be really going hardcore into this mechanic is the question that I don't have the answer to, but I am curious to learn. And I will say this, there is value to the refinery itself. I mean, there's good stuff there in terms of catch-up mechanics, things like that, things that players ask for. It's going to come down to how much of it is worth it given the time, the effort, and the problems that people have been experiencing. Now, Kia Pi says, I'm not fully clear on how the outposts work. I'm in one and defending, but I'm collecting rewards so slowly it's not worth it unless there's a big gain at the end or a chest or something. No, you simply gain every 5 minutes. The hostiles spawn. Now, the Wave 2 version of the hostiles, so the last 30, are stronger and have more goodies in them. But no, it is a 6-hour grind, which is why a lot of people have been talking about doing it at night. That's actually when I've been talking about doing it. Like, I'm going to focus on doing that at night, right? So here, let's close this one down. We're going to boot back into our higher level account. This is a Sigma account. We'll use this for Googling and eyeballing. So you're passively grinding these continually, right? You're getting more and more of these going so that you can get these solo outpost credits, the old outpost medallion, and the common outpost mechanics so that you can then get more of the stuff, which then translates to more in the refinery. And yeah, Darush, I see the new announcement that just dropped here on STFC via the ham. It says, due to ongoing issues with solo outposts, the team is actively working to fix. We will not run 2 events today. Great. Great. Awesome. Also, Brigadier Jones says, how do you reset an outpost? I cannot start another one without finishing the first one. But I can't finish the first one as it won't allow me. As I did recall both my ships last night, not sure how to fix it. Good news. That's actually a problem. So have you put in a ticket? Brigadier Jones getting the answers they're looking for. Congratulations. How far did you get in the level 60 solo outpost? Votes, to be honest, I didn't get super far, but I never upgraded any. I set it to go last night, and I literally didn't upgrade any of the ISO buffs. So I think I made it like 50 hostiles in, and then the wave 2s killed me. So if I had done the buffs, I would have done better. But for those that didn't catch it, this morning I put out a video to help all you level 51 plus players on crewing. In fact, Vosh was in my DMs annoying me all morning. I'm just kidding, Vosh. Appreciate you. But I was testing out officers, making sure things worked, etc., etc. So there is a video this morning that it gives you crews to try out, gives you officers that we know that work and don't work, and it will get edited a little bit more to add more things and etc. But yeah, I was doing a lot of officer testing, and I just got to the point last night doing my actual outpost where I said, heck it, I'm tired. I'm not staying up to turn these buffs on, and I just let it run for as far as it went. So I could have gone much further in tonight's live stream on Twitch. Maybe we'll take it further, but I just decided, heck it, last night. I was tired. I went to bed at like 3:30 in the morning after I got the video done and the spreadsheet done. And I did not make it as far as I could have. So I can't really give you an accurate, hey, Rev, how far did you make it on the 60? Well, I think I made it like 50-ish hostiles, but I never upgraded any of the buffs. And the big one, and I've been trying to encourage people to focus on specifically the Borg node ones, because mathematically, these are the easiest ones for most players to counter because there's more ISO defense that you can put into things than there is things like Apex Shred that works against these, gold hostile types more than the whole health negativity that you find. So this is definitely the better option. Were you seeing any of the below deck abilities proc? Mine yesterday only showed Picard Hugh. Well, it depends on what the ability is. A lot of abilities, Mariner, are always on abilities. For example, Wrath of Khan Joaquin will never show as proccing, but he's always active. How do we know he's always active? Well, let me give you a visual representation of how we know he's always active. I'm going to show you 2 ships, and you're going to see 2 completely different numbers. And I'm going to show you exactly why that is. So this is the Rotaran. This is the crew that I left on last night as it did its grind. You're going to scroll down and see my ISO defense is a whopping almost 1,200%. You might go, how the heck did that happen? That's Joaquin, because his description is wrong. Here's ISO defense on my Revenant. Here's ISO defense on my Selkie. Here's ISO defense on my Mogwa. So I have double that. That's because he is an always on ability. Anything that is always on. I talk about that in the video this morning. If you haven't checked it out, check out the video this morning. But always on abilities do not proc. Things like Strange New World Dejac, things like Tendy, Mariner, etc. that do not proc but simply activate and you have it. Those are what you're looking for, right? That's what you're looking for. So you're not looking for procs. You're trusting the nerds to tell you what works. Like Strange New World Montgomery Scott works, right? Things like that. It's in the spreadsheet. Almost all the Strange New World lower deck stuff works. Pelia, Scotty, Himmer, Dejac, Black Ops Chapel below decks. I need to add that into the spreadsheet, by the way. Black Ops Chapel wasn't on there originally. All those work. So anyway, I don't want to get too caught up in all this stuff, but yeah, there you go. All right, let me start grabbing some of this, and we're going to look at the material exchange too and debate, is that a good thing that's coming through here? Because again, this is one of those things that maybe people actually want to do or take advantage of. So you might go, hey Rev, what is this? Well, the material conversion, so if you did not notice, we did talk about it, but this new building is actually a generator, and it generates a new currency, material fragments. Now, as you upgrade this new type of generator, which is called the Outpost Control Center. I wish they would have just called it the Material Fragment Generator. But anyway, it has a capacity, it has storage, and it has production. And then you'll come into this refinery, and you'll have the G5, well, it depends on where you're at. This one's G5. You have the fragments, turn those in. 50K would get me 58 uncommon. That's the sweetest deal I've ever made. It's meh. But anyway, that is something that's been added, and we had some confusion yesterday on where it was at because we figured it would be in the Outpost, and it wasn't. So, yeah, we figured it would be in the Outpost, and it wasn't. Now, of course, we have that in the spreadsheet as well for you spreadsheet nerds. Same spreadsheet that has the crewing tab at the bottom, also has the building level, etc., here as well. And you can see we're still working on doing all the payouts for the G6, the G5, and the G7 amounts. We do not have all of those verified yet. Apologies on that, but we're working on it. Slowly but surely, we'll get all that in. Got my revenue. What tier should I scrap it? Tier 5, tier 10, tier 15. Make sure you level it up as well. Don't just take it to tier 5 and it's level 1. You'll be very disappointed. I have a video on that as well, but I really want to shout out my friend Tiberius. I believe that Tiberius put out a better version of that video. I put out a video on it. Tibbs put out a video. I think Tibbs is better. Check out Tiberius's video on scrapping the Revenant and the mechanic. I do have one though. Like if you're just loyal to Rev Deuce, feel free to watch it. But shout out to Tibbs. He put out a really good video there. He put out a real good one. All right, back into my refinery. Let me go grab, there we go. I was looking for that. Then we got all this stuff. We've got officer shards. Y'all know the main thing I'm worried about is this premium mirror dust. That's going to be Rev's bread and butter right there. Retaliation plunder earned by defending against wave 2 solo outpost retaliation attacks used to exchange rewards in the outpost refinery. I've got, over 500. So that's going to be my bread and butter. Then when I finally get all that, we're probably going to be working on, going after the high arc, which as you can see here, 50% chance of applying hull breach, burning, or assimilate against players, and then shots. I'm really looking at the shots ability. So yeah, there we go. Yo, Kia Pilot, thank you so much for supporting the channel, by the way. I know it's going to be a very busy day as we go through all the problems this game is having, but big thank you to those people who financially support this channel, because without people like Kia Pilot and without people like Brigadier Jones, this channel wouldn't exist. I would not be able to go yell at Scopely like we did yesterday. In fact, a lot of the things they've been posting, those are things that we sent in. So thank y'all to all the people who helped make all this happen. Sincerely, means a lot. You also have the Outpost Retaliation medals, which allow you to go after Nog. So I actually like Nog as an officer. We'll be doing that as well. And then you have your trade down, which is very, very common you see with the, what's his face? Mr. Tiger loops, getting those trade down mechanics. Then you have these refits, which again, I actually am glad these have been added. I'm glad these have been added. Like, I really do like that we now have a free-to-play sourcing for this. This is a big request, by the way. So, everybody, Paquito, thank you. Now, for the Outpost itself, roast it. Flame away. The Outpost itself has launched terribly, but there's a couple of nice little things in there. That's what I wanted to point out. Now we can go back to roasting the Outpost mechanic. Let's jump into it. Tip says, number one reason I applied for the CC program so I could yell at Big S directly, and probably why they didn't add anyone. Yeah. Well, I love you, Tibbs. But number one reason I applied to the CC program was I wanted to do giveaways. And, well, now the community pays for giveaways. If you're out there and want to sponsor one, let me know. So, if you want to sponsor one, let me know. How close to our ops level should we shoot for? You should be shooting for your ops level. There is an argument to be made for punching up, but the punching up is very difficult. You see, this one's got 9 remaining. You're going to see a lot of people punching down. Punching up really requires you to manage the actual one. Your crews have to be really good. But after that, you actually need to be upgrading the outpost itself, all the abilities. So, yeah, I mean, you can definitely punch down to make sure you get all 72 hostiles. But in terms of payouts, and again, this is on the sheet. Hear me 1 second. I'll go grab the sheet so y'all can see it. And again, this is why I'm focusing on the Borg ones, because the ISO defense is something you can counter. One of the outpost and the hostiles themselves. You really want to try to work on that, and the buffs get better. So as you can see on the screen that way, see how high the buffs get eventually when it comes to things like mitigation, ISO cascade, ISO defense. Look how big these numbers get. That can really help you when progressing versus these hostiles. So specifically, you're looking at, like, for the one I'm pointing at, the retaliation hostile ISO defense buff, which that maxes out at 800%, which would add to what you already have with things like Joaquin, Pelia, etc. So now Brandon says the event is killing hostiles, not how high, and that's completely fair. I'm just saying, if you're trying to, make it as far as you can, you want to kind of focus on your level, but they're also not running the event today, so no worries. They just announced they're not running the event, so whoop-de-doo, no big deal. Whoop-de-doo, no big deal. Intro to Outpost events, I don't think that, that does have the meta still, which, curious how that goes. And let me check other events. So we have the Overflow, March of Progress, normal stuff. Complete the missions. Do the missions if you haven't already. The missions do have Officer Depot tokens, but the missions also have directives in them as well. So if you've not done the mission from yesterday, go pick that up and do the mission. That'll give you a little bit more directives if you're wanting to run Outpost in our G5 and above player. Grilling with Gator says G6 has G7 players. Have to use 1 million Sigma Steel to max out ISO defense buff per run. It is definitely more expensive, Grilling Gator. Now, I'm not necessarily saying to run that to max, but Grilling Gator, that is also part of why you see people punching down to the G5 ones. Because the G5 ones don't, like the level 60s, you use regular par steel, not Sigma par steel. So that's another reason you're seeing a lot of these players punch down, is those buffs a lot cheaper. So Brandon says, I love how unless you're on Discord, you miss all those announcements. Hey, unless you're with Rev Deuce and he makes sure you get the announcements, because that's my job. Darn it. Dang it. That's my job. And I'm very happy to give it to you. Well, actually, I'm very happy to give it to Scope. Right? And Tibbs, you're more than welcome to do that as well. All right, let's actually see what crews people are running real quick. I'm curious what Mocha Joe's running. He's got 49 ships remaining, and he's actually taking a fair bit of damage, actually. So let's see. Mocha Joe has got, that's a solid one. I like that one. Little Martok there. It's not really about that. It's about the dodge, although not a maxed out Martok, surprising for a level 66. We've got Kang here, which is going to give a boost to the accuracy. And then Lorca for hull breach. Wonder what they have proccing criticals there. Normally, if you're going to run a hull breach run, you're going to want to have criticals, which is the Enterprise E, Riker, or Khan. And then we got 5 Khan, George, Joe here. So, and Quantum Slipstream, which does work, by the way. FYI, for those that don't remember, Quantum Slipstream does indeed work here. So, Quantum Slipstream does indeed work. Let me start making my pulls as we answer questions. Dustin says, personally, I do not have confidence in Mr. Connor. They underdelivered and too many broken bugs and some canceled events. Well, I guess it's going to sound real negative. At what point did anybody have confidence in the general manager of Star Trek Fleet Command anyway? I don't really feel like that's saying much. Gosh, that makes me sound real negative. But who had confidence in them to begin with? And why? Wasn't me. But, okay. I'm really trying not to be negative. I'm just trying to be factual. Who had confidence in them? So that, to me, that point doesn't matter, is what I'm saying. If the Outpost is generating this material, is this something that will be able to be base rated? As of now, no. As of now, no. Good question, but as of now, no. It's not a rateable material. So if you went and attack somebody's base, it still only pulls your partial titanium to lithium. It's not pulling the new currency. Now, would that be something in the future? That's a good question. And I'm not even opposed to that being rated. But no, if you actually go and scan, well, I guess it could be, I will say I could be wrong. But having scanned several bases since this has come out, I've yet to see that as a rateable resource. And we've had base rating the past few days, and that's yet to have been a rated resource. So if it is rateable, nobody's made it to a point where the building is going overflow and allowing that to be rated. But I'm pretty sure it cannot be rated. But I don't think it'd be an issue if it was rateable. So can I see the battle pass? I mean, sure, let me finish my pulls and we can do that. Mihai says, I saw in the video that you use Enterprise D and Rotarum for the Outpost. Is that strictly due to below deck spots, or would you use an uncommon before below deck spots? Between choosing an uncommon 63 and a 60 epic, I'm always choosing the 60 epic unless my G6 uncommon is like tier 12. Like a G6 uncommon, because its firing pattern is just not very good, needs a lot of tiers to overcome. Like I have a tier 5.5 Akira. I am not using that instead of the Enterprise. Now, to the point that you're making, there aren't a lot of below deck officers that work for gold hostile bosses. There are not a lot. So, if you have limited below deck spots, that can make sense to use a bigger ship, maybe your NG6, and let's say you picked up a Velox. Now we're talking. Yes, I would use a Velox with only 4 below deck spots versus, something else that maybe had more, like my Enterprise D, because that's going to provide me more value. Even a GS31 will provide more value at a high tier than the uncommons. Just remember, those uncommons can work fine, but you need tiers behind them, and most people aren't putting that many tiers. Tier 7 Minerva, I would still probably use the Enterprise D. Probably. We'll see when my Akira is tier 7, because things have changed since these originally rolled out, right? Things are better now than then, but I'm still probably going to go. Velox works great with 4 below deck spots. Yeah, I mean, Velox is a significant jump in overall stats compared to a 63 uncommon. So even though it doesn't have a great firing pattern, it makes up for it with just brute forcing things. Think of the level 60 epics as like really well sharpened knives, and the 66 rares are like sledgehammers, and the 63s are paper airplanes. So, yeah. Paper airplanes. An apt description. So, should we also be taking into account ship abilities like the Dare decks? No, you should not give a heck about a ship ability past G4. Ship abilities no longer matter. So no, you should not. Ship abilities are irrelevant past G4. Now, there are slight exceptions like the Vengeance fighting the Breen, but I mean, just generally speaking, ship abilities are irrelevant. Just ignore them. Doesn't really matter what it is. It doesn't matter. So, all right. What research in Starpath is best to start with? The ISO research is on the left side. The ISO damage research is on the left side. And then you want to get the research for the shield regeneration from morale. So I think they even matter at any level because the Enterprise and G4 rares, TBH. Well, it does matter because the Tribune can throw out 80 shots in a single round. That still is ridiculously strong. So, I mean, you can't discount that. But anyway, I do want to make sure everybody knows that if y'all want to pass on feedback for Outposts, this is the opportunity. And I really want to make sure we don't get too sidetracked. I get it. This game's got a lot of content, but we need to make sure that the content that's currently problematic for a lot of people, that we're, one, getting tickets put in, and two, helping players who need help getting those sorted. I don't mind answering these random questions, but I do want to remind everybody, hey, let's try to keep it focused on Outpost because that's, look, it just came out yesterday and we really need to make sure this thing is working. So try to focus. Does FC Lorca's fist ability work when hitting Outpost? Yes, but remember, Lorca's fist only lasts for like a minute and a half, so it would not persist through the 6 hours. That would not give you a long-term bonus. It would help if you needed to just initially beat the Outpost, but it wouldn't help you long-term. So, would not help you long-term. All right, let me go, let's see, Outpost Refinery. And somebody asked, am I reading this correctly? Nomad says, does the Outpost give a fleet preset at Ops 40? Yes. Not only will you be able to use 3 ships, but at Ops or at Building 40, you get a fleet preset, and at Building 67, you get a fleet preset. So, again, as is common with Mr. Tiger style loops, long-term value is very obvious in the mechanic, as in they bake in a lot of free-to-play stuff to earn down the run. So we've got free-to-play hijack skins, which again were very highly requested. We got free-to-play free presets. Both officers have a free-to-play path day 1. Right. Lots of free-to-play sourcing in this mechanic, even though the mechanic is rolled out super broken. The style of the mechanic is definitely long-term. There's value. It's why I've said this is not Assaults 2.0, because there's good stuff here. And like there's players who are going to want Nog and the Hierarch and are going to want the hijack ship skins. Imagine being a G5 player right now. Let's say that you're level 53. You can now free-to-play grind for the level 60 hijack skins. That's really good. The mechanic is crap right now on day 2, but long-term, very good stuff. So there's something to keep in mind. Now, I will say this. If you wanted to purchase your way to Building 40 right now, it would cost you $400 American. The only dollar that matters. $400 American dollars. So I'm not encouraging you to do that. It is definitely a long-term plan, but just so that you know, $400. Are there hijack skins for 63 plus ships? There are. There are. All right, let's browser back on over because my pulls are all over the place, but I still need to get them done. Still need to get them done. We also need to go run solos today. We got to do all kinds of things today. Playing catch up. So they need to add more, as it's like trying to get the impossible in the lower ones. I don't know what you're talking about, Ron. You're going to have to clarify your statement. Do Outpost snapshot ship stats when they start for things like exos and stuff, or do they update after each battle? After each battle. So each hostile battle is a unique engagement. So once you start an outpost and you beat the outpost, every hostile is a unique engagement after. So you can't have like Lorca's Fist activated and then go stretch for 6 hours. They're a unique log created each time. Be nice if you could like just load up on exos and have those things just constantly running. That'd be pretty cheap and pretty cheesy, which is probably why it doesn't happen. But they are a unique start. So again, that's why we focus on the buffs themselves. If you're going to run one, you upgrade the buffs inside the outpost itself. And oh heck, and I think I have do I have the currency to run one right now? Let me see. First off, are there any available? Nope, I don't have the currency, so never mind. I was gonna say heck it, I just start one now, but I do not have the currency to do so. So, which ship to use between the GS31 or a max Derrida for outpost? That doesn't give me enough information, Jay, so I honestly can't answer that question. For the hijack skins, looks like the 40 to 80 days to get all the shards are worthwhile on a G5 epic, or save that for the G6 rares / epics. Derp, that depends entirely on how fast you progress through the game. Not to, kind of like avert the question, but if you progress, let's just say you progress around the pace that I do, then yeah, it's worth getting it for the epics at level 60. Because then you're still going to get them for later ships. If you are going to move fast, then yeah, save for where you're going. Yeah, Zathras already claimed it. James says, good mechanics once the bugs are fixed, but they need more loot, not worth it yet. See, I don't actually agree that you need more loot. I don't think that's a problem either. You just need them to work, and people need to understand the mechanic and be able to do it. You are going to run into the issue, though, as I bring up a lot, and I know people will get tired of hearing this, but there are a lot of players out there who struggle bus with hitting things of their level. Remember, by the way, I didn't even mention the 4 prime particles that get sourced in this one. Remember, you should be strong enough to hit things at your level. If you're 60, you should be hitting 60s. You should not be hitting 50s. I can understand like the G6 and G7s punching down because like we were talking about, they don't want to spend a million Sigma par steel right now. Cool, get that. But if you're like a level 53 and you're like, oh my God, I can't even beat the Outposts of 53, that is a problem with the account that we need to make the account better. And we have been really hammering this. And I say this every time. We blame Scopely. Scopely has made so many people level up that a lot of people just cannot handle the new content as it comes out. Play slower, fight for your level, punch down if you need to. I get why a lot of G6 players and G7 players are punching down. Completely understand. But what I am saying, like, you shouldn't be level 63 punching down to the 50s and the 53s. Leave that for Ron. Poor Ron over here dying to have 53s. Don't take away Ron's 53s. Let Ron have his 53s. So, takes time. Takes time. And don't forget, next month, things will magically become easier when they release something else. Yeah, because of course they will. Tip says, so what do we think the special ship bonus for the Outpost will be next month? I wonder, Tips. Don't worry. Next month, you'll have a shiny new thing. Woo. Okay, now see, this is what I'm talking about. Why is a 67 punching down on this 53? Like that's just taking it away from a G5 player. Yeah, and multiple of these are broken too. Even worse. No reason for these guys to be... Come on. Come on. You're stealing candy from babies. Kids these days. Wait, hold on. Did that person have 3? All right, well, this person apparently took their building to level 40 already. They've got 3 ships there. There's an event for killing hostiles. Does it matter the level? Yeah, I understand that, Kinslayer. But you're still being a complete a-hole. If somebody like Ron needs to run it, he can't go up to the 63s. If you're in G6, there's no reason you should be anywhere lower than a 60. I'm sorry, maybe I'm sounding prejudiced or something. If you're a G6 player, 0 reason to be any lower than the 60. No reason at all. No reason at all. Quit stealing from the G5 folks and get to work. No reason at all. And I want to hear about, there's a limited number. There's 180 on a server, and server 20 has over 2,500 people on it. So it's not like I'm in an empty server. You'd be surprised how squishy some 60s are? No, I wouldn't. I literally just said most 60s now are weak as crap, and they need to be better, and I blame Scopely. I don't blame the players. So, I don't blame the players. I blame Scopely for making people level up. But most people's accounts can't handle the content they're in right now. So. Yeah. All right. Shout out to On Call Doc and Hearts of Space. On Call Doc has quit. Stony Dude is probably close. Jess has quit. Nigel doesn't get the respect he deserves. Yeah. There's some good names in here. I know a lot of these people. There's some good names. Obviously, I know Nightmare. Server 20. Yeah. Some good names in there. Scope is just running certain people off, though. Obviously, no Jew. Hey, Corey, good to see you. Welcome in. If you hit your daily hostile limit, will it stop spawning ships? The Outpost does not count towards your daily hostile limit. It's actually one of the things they did well and got right. Does not count towards your daily hostile limit. So don't worry about that. Run what you need to run. Does not count towards your daily hostile limit. Are player reviews coming back? At some point, yes. So, do Outposts pay rep? They do not. Outposts do not pay out rep. So the Outpost is going to have two different types of payouts. I need to find one that I can actually look at and scan. So you're going to have the reward for beating the Outpost. Whoop. And then this is what each wave 1 hostile pays out. And this is what each wave 2 hostile pays out that you beat. So this is what you get for beating the Outpost. Then you get this for every wave 1 hostile, which is the first 42. And then this is for every wave 2. This is for the last 30. And we're looking at a 53 here. So obviously it changes and it scales based on the level of the Outpost. So. Juanita Piker, Kirk, Dustin. Okay, you're talking to somebody else. Just moved from ops 49 to 50. I have 2 tier 8 epic 50s. Is it safe to jump to 53? I wouldn't jump to 53 this month. I would enjoy being level 50 this month, especially because you have an arc directed at you at level 50 to help you improve your relativity. I would not move up this month. Would really recommend against that. Enjoy the fact that you have a month dedicated to you as a G4 player. Take advantage of that. Now, can you make it to level 53 with that stuff? Oh, absolutely. But given the nature of this month, I would not be moving. I would sit my happy butt at 50 and then see what things look like next month. I would not be getting into the cluster that is Outpost and the broken events that we currently have. Enjoy the G4 stuff. Relativity is max for 50? Sure, but you're still going to earn parts for it so that you can have that as soon as you go G5. I mean, you asked my opinion. I would stay far away from leveling up this month. So. Kirk says Scopely's greed has become unbearable. It's a shame that so many people still fall for it or don't care what happens to the rest of the community. Kirk, the greed has not changed from day one. As someone who's worked with this company for 7 years, let me tell you, greed's the same level it's always been, bud. Same level it's always been. It is what it is. You just learn to live with it or you leave it behind, and I understand both paths. Some people just get fed up because they, I think some people come in believing that, oh, eventually Scopely will change or Star Trek Fleet Command will change. It won't. It's been this way. It will always be this way. It will not change. You either learn to live with it or you get so fed up seeing that it won't change and you leave. Those are the two options. Star Trek Fleet Command is not greedier today than it was 6 years ago. Like I was here when the level 34 Enterprise, they were literally 10,000 US dollars to get a level 34 Enterprise leveled up. Like, it's not changed at all. You just either learn to work around it and live with it, or you get so fed up you leave. But the greed is the same it's always been. And they've never hit it. There's one thing I respect. Kirk says it's gotten a lot worse lately. It literally has not, Kirk. And I can mathematically prove it to you. January 2019, $500 to get a level 26 ship that's completely worthless, like a Mayflower, etc. G6 rolls out. They roll out an event. That one event cost 100,000 US dollars. That was 2 years ago. The greed is the exact same. It's always been. You cannot say they're worse now. They're not worse now. They're the same they've always been. Now, your frustration might be higher, and that's completely fine. Literally since the game rolled out, it's not any different. They are who they are. It might feel different. Like, and what really has happened is your frustration is just snowballing. That's what's happening. You don't notice it as much when you first start playing the game, like, oh, I can ignore it. But as you get more and more, you just start seeing more and more of it. It's been the same the entire time. And why is it that way? Because like you said, people pay it. Let me give you an example. I had a friend of mine who was level 70. He got frustrated. He quit the game. He quit the game and requested his account be deleted. They deleted it. He then decided, well, I miss my community, and he came back. You know what he did when he came back? He went back to level 70 in a month. Yeah, I'm not making that up. And this is before G7 rolled out. They're in G7 now. Why is Scopely? Why are they greedy? Because it works. People spend. Monopoly Go made over $5 billion of gross revenue already, and it's been out less than 3 years. That's why. Okay? So, like, I get it. Super says an idiot. He's not an idiot at all. He's just significantly wealthier than me or you. He's not an idiot at all. He's actually extremely humble, extremely kind. I don't want to dox him, but he's actually a very good human. Like, if I had an emergency, I know that I could go to him and like, dude, I should never do this, but I need $1,000. He'd give it to me. I'm not going to do that. Absolutely not. I feel like that's crossing friend lines. You don't do that. He's a very good person. He just has way more money than you. He just has way more money than you. Right? It's just, that's not a bad thing. I'm not shaming you. I'm just saying he's not an idiot because he's got money. He just has money. He works hard for it, has money. He paid them twice for a game he hated enough to cancel. I'll stand by the idiot. I just feel like you're being a bit of an a-hole. He's paying because he wants to be with his alliance and he wants to help out his teammates. That's why he does it. Again, money is not the same for everybody. For me, $100 is a lot of money. When people donate $20 to me, I'm very grateful and I really appreciate that. But there are a lot of people out there that you could give them 20 grand and that's the same as giving me $20. We had this conversation a couple weeks ago. There's between $1 million and $1 billion. Right. We have legitimate people who play this game who own 200-foot yachts. Like people who earn 7 digits a year. People who earn 8 digits a year play this game. Like we're in different stratospheres. Like when you make that much money, blowing 100 grand to go back to level 70 is nothing. It's literally nothing. So, is Scopely aware of the glitches with the Outpost event and is a fix coming? They are aware, John. In fact, the Outpost events today have been canceled. And they announced that here about right after stream started. The Outpost event, both the intro and the components and the hold have been canceled because of the problem. Because of the problem. Imagine slaving away on production line so the owner can give $100K for a digital spaceship. Well, maybe the person of the line should have invented a company that makes them $100K to spend on a spaceship. So, you have a problem with clicking on the current battle pass in the events. Whenever I click on it, either PC or iOS, the screen goes blank and freezes. Is there any update? You're not the first person to report that. Now, mine works fine. But no, I've actually had multiple reports of that. I would encourage you to put in a ticket. I feel like that has kind of become secondary today for Scopely because the Outpost is the focus. Please push that as a ticket though. Please definitely push that as a ticket. There are a lot of players, not as much as Outpost issues, but definitely players who've been having that pop up. And make sure that you put in a ticket so they can be aware of it. If you're not familiar with how to put in a ticket, I've got a list of instructions in my Discord that shows you how to put in a ticket. And some of you maybe don't want to use the in-game way or whatever. I've got 3 different ways of how to put in a ticket here in the Discord. So make sure you put one in. Make sure you put one in. That Battle Pass issue has definitely been affecting several players. And sadly, I'm not one of those. I get to gloat about my working Battle Pass. But it is known, and I've certainly heard of it and about it. I am very much an elitist demon, Chris. Yeah, my battle pass works flawlessly. So, good to see you, by the way, Chris. Live to Play says he's not only a fool, he's a dang fool. Virtual BS is not worth 100 grand, and actually it's way more than he could be giving to the poor and the needy. Selfish elitist pig. I'll be honest, Live to Play, the only selfish elitist pig here is you. That you would have the audacity to tell somebody what they can do with what they've worked hard for and earned. You're the elitist pig. You're just jealous. You're very envious and jealous. How do you know he doesn't already do that? I actually have not met a single super well in this game who's not a philanthropist and heavily involved in charity. Stop being jealous. Work harder. Go earn 100 grand so you can donate to a soup kitchen. Don't be an elitist. You're the only one with the problem here. Wano material choice this month? What level are you, Jim? What level are you? Would you recommend that people prioritize the loot from Wave 2 to unlock the Hierarch? So let's jump back into the refinery. Let's jump back into the Outpost refinery. So you have a few different things to go after with this. So you have the Retaliation Plunder that can get the Hierarch. Personally, I would spend your plunder on things like Premium Mirror Dust. That would be more important to me. I would personally spend it on Primes. That'd be more important to me. So I'm not saying the Hierarch's a bad officer, but as it is with many things in the game, how many of you out there are really heavy PvP players? Which is the main reason to get the Hierarch. The average player who watches this channel will be much better served getting the Premium Mirror Dust, getting the Primes that they still need to get, whether that be the Prime Mirror Particles, whether that be finishing their Dolomite Primes, and I would even argue as far as the building stuff for the Outpost Retaliation Metal instead of getting Nog, just to make sure your buildings are where they need to be. Most people don't want to spend money, so how do you get the things free to play? Here you go. I would point towards the Premium Mirror Dust and the Primes first. And if you really just want to be a complete glutton, you can go after the title, which is going to cost 100,000. Yeah, that's like, you know what this reminds me of? Talking about this game being around a long time. I remember back in the day, yep, Rev's pulling it back in the day. Khan came out as an avatar. The Khan avatar we used to mock. Who would blow that many augment credits on an avatar? It's worthless, blah, 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 blah. Can't even see it anymore, but there was an avatar. I forgot I've already gotten it, but that was my point. The augment avatar was stupid, and yet in time we got it. So right now, yeah, it looks stupid to spend 100,000 of this currency on the title, but down the road, you'll get the title. Down the road, you'll get the title. So just like Rev, who did openly on this stream say that the Khan avatar was completely stupid for 100,000 augment currency. Oh, look, Rev's got it. Yeah, hey, look, there he is. My own special Khan. So, don't worry. It's everybody will earn something eventually. Everybody will earn something eventually. Yeah. All right, back into the chat. Unless this mechanic goes away in 2 months and they forget about it, that's not the plan. Again, having talked to game design, that's certainly not the plan. But I mean, look, we don't know. We don't know. We know that it's running for sure the next 2 months, and then the plan after that is to have Outposts be a recurring thing. We'll see if that happens. Obviously, it's got to get fixed first. Obviously, it's got to get fixed first. So, let's see what else we got. So I think you finally warmed me down, Rev. I'm going to start being a pirate and OPC hunting. I'm happy to hear it, Travis. I really am. Look, things be expensive out here, especially things like Transigen. If you want to get these pulls in, you got to get to hunting. I know not everybody likes it, and that's fine, but you got to do it if you want to get all your pulls consistently with as many loops as are in the game. Now, my hope is that we have additions to the IA building coming. If you'll notice in here, there are certain avatars that have appeared, like the Meridian avatar right here. If you scroll up, there's also a Mantis avatar in here somewhere, if I can find it, that are the theme of the IA building. So you got a Mantis avatar already set. You got a Meridian avatar specifically for the IA building. I'm hoping those get added soon, which will remove some loops for people, which will make people happy. So clearly, they're looking to the future. You've got the avatars put in the game, with the Meridian avatar just coming in this month. Hopefully, very soon, that'll be something that we see. I don't have a date I can give you, or else I would. Like there's no NDA keeping me from telling you the date. I don't have one. But I'm telling you that the Meridian one just got added. The Mantis one has been there, but my hope is that we're seeing this lead to our first update in what, 4 months? It's been a while. It's been a minute since we've gotten an update. You'll create the ISS Greenpeace and go protest pirating? Feel free. You're going to have to catch me first, and I've got a cloaking device. Yup. Ooh, look at everybody in here. Oh, there's gotta be some OPC. Gotta be some OPC in here. There's gotta be. All right, where's my chaser? We should ask for 1 million lat as for compensation. I'll be honest, a million lat's nothing. Like, even on my level 36 account, 1 million latinum is nothing. I'd like to ask for a much better comp than 1 million latinum. That's nothing. Yeah, that's no. We deserve way better than 1 million latinum. What's the best standard crew for most players under Ops 45 for OPC hunting? Generic PvP crew. I mean, you honestly don't even need to run a PvP crew most of the time unless you're punching up on players. You can actually run a cargo or protected cargo crew. I run a PvP crew because I tend to punch up. Like I might run into a level 70 like you just saw and try to punch him. So I'll run a PvP crew, and then that's going to just be dependent on what you have. So if you're running, a battleship strike team, interceptor strike team. If you don't have those, run some of the classic PvP crews. You can even go real classic with like Lorca, Tilly, and Honor Guard Wharf, depending on what you've unlocked. So let's see if we got any not in there. What we're looking for is these without hearts. Really want to find Selkies. Those are the ones that are always juicy. Like we got a couple Selkies over here, and there you go. 1.59 million uncommon that I don't have to mine because this kind gentleman and or lady did it for me. What's your thoughts on the Hierarch officer for PvP? I think that they're a good PvP officer, but I don't think that's going to apply to most people here in the chat. But do I think they're a solid PvP officer? I do. Yeah, let's see. Anything in here? No. All right. So we got 4.8 million there. Let's go dock that real quick. That'll come in handy later. I'll come in handy. Are outposts working now? Yes and no. Outposts are still breaking. Some fixes have been deployed. A lot more need to be deployed. In fact, I don't feel like we've actually come to a consensus what the comp chest should be. I think the comp chest should be a lot of rewards. It's like, for example, my first one was broken, so I wasn't able to actually earn any of this heavy currency the first time doing an outpost. I think people should be getting retaliation plunder, the good currency. That is what I will be asking for. I'm going to put in, hey, look, I talk to players, and unless y'all add something that maybe you think is better, I'm going to ask for directives, plunder, and the other currency. I'm going to ask for probably, I'm going to say 2,000 plunder. I don't expect to get 2,000 plunder, but I'm going to ask for it. I'm going to ask for directives and retaliation plunder, and then the oopsie chest currency. So, what level outpost do you do? The 60s. Although I can do the 56s. Any of that will work. I'm fine with all of it. What I need is for them to actually not break. And I was one of the people who had the wonderful experience of them breaking. Wonderful experience of them breaking. They really do something more than the bare minimum. It's been such a bad run for them. They need to rebuild some goodwill. I'll be honest, Brett. They don't care about goodwill. They don't. They never have. Do they? They care about spin levels. So they'll placate the people they need to placate. But the people in charge don't care about. Come on. I care about it though, Brett, which is why I'm here, doing half their job for them. Oh well. You broke it on purpose? Not the point, Tony. Not the point. Problem with the outpost after my first run is that the refinery doesn't really have anything for my ops. Really, Gary? What do you mean? Because I actually found this is a 63 account, and I just got done bragging about all the good things that are in the refinery. What is it that you're not finding that has value? Like, what would you want to see? Maybe, I'm assuming maybe you have all the primes, but surely you've not finished all the premium mirror. Surely you've not finished all that. If you have, kudos to you. That's awesome. What do you think about the Outpost Battle Pass? I don't plan on buying it, if that's the question. Do I find it having value? Gosh, I really hate to say that. I do find that it has value. Yes. Why? The same reason that I like the Territory Pass. It is loaded with special currency. I like special currency passes. Do I think it's valuable? Yes. Do I really want to reward Scopely for Outpost right now? No. I mean, I feel dirty when I tell somebody, yeah, this is a good pack, go buy it. I like that style of Battle Pass though. And if you can't tell with the feedback that I've been saying loudly, yeah, this is the kind of Battle Pass that I recommend they make. I do find the Battle Pass itself to have really good stuff in it. That said, I wouldn't be buying things with the way things are broken right now. That's just me. I only look. Some people might look at this as if you're going to give them, money, it doesn't matter when you give it. I tend to disagree. I think that you only give them money when things are working well, and then you can correlate, hey, I wasn't willing to give you $20 when it was broken, but when you fixed it, I gave you $20. Now, I'll only get this Battle Pass if people donate for me to buy a Battle Pass. So I'm not a Battle Pass purchaser very often. For $20, do I believe it's a good pass? I would be lying if I said no, but I'll tell you this, I would really encourage you to not buy it yet until they fix their That's my opinion. Because what if they don't fix it? What if you go all month long and Outposts are still breaking? Should you buy it? Because if it's still breaking, then can you do the events? And if you can't do the events, can you then finish the Battle Pass? Again, I think it has value, absolutely. I don't like giving them money when things are borked, and things are borked right now, so wouldn't recommend. But if people are out there and looking for something that's going to help them catch up on their account, maybe that does have value, yeah, it does have some good stuff in it. Right? It does. All right, we're talking about all the currencies. Well, you need the directives to run more. You want to be able to earn that premium so that you can get more premium mirror dust and stuff and get the primes. Yeah, I mean, Galactica claims for your ships. It's solid rewards. I don't really care about that avatar, but I guess it's kind of cool, honestly. A typewriter? The Benny Russell DS9 typewriter? I actually kind of like that. Never mind. I changed my mind on the avatar. I like the avatar. It's solid. Yeah, it's a good pass. Gosh, I feel dirty saying positive things. I feel dirty. Stop making me say positive things. Stop making me do that. That's enough. All right, let's go see if anybody's OPC. Gary says, I won't buy the Battle Pass for the Outpost unless it's complete and I get everything in it. 100%. I'll also say that I do recommend people wait until you know you've completed a Battle Pass before you purchase it. Because what if life happens, right? Now, Jim says, no mats, no money. For me, materials and resources have become so easy to get, except if you're in G7, that doesn't move me as much anymore. Like, do I want materials? Of course. But I would much rather have specialty currencies, because specialty currencies are what's harder to get because we have so many loops. I won't do everything. Hey, Icewolf, good to see you. And if the lead content creator, the largest content creator the game has, I'm not trying to puff my chest out. We know I'm the largest content creator STFC has by a lot. Right now, on the middle of a Wednesday, there's over 400 people watching on a regular stream. This isn't even a fancy stream. Let me schedule a stream where I'm going to do an in-depth interview and tell you all the dirty secrets of Scopely. I'll have 1,500 people here. And I won't do all the work. And if I won't do it, I'm not going to expect or tell you to do it either. You shouldn't do it. So because of that, if you're a spender, I tend to value specialty currency spend more than material spend because the events are paying out good economy rates. Now, if you are a G7 player, that's different. If you're an upper G6 player, that's a little different. For the majority of you, this is likely more progressing for you, as in this will push you further than this. That doesn't want to work. Great. Again, just if we're just doing apples to apples, and you're the average player, which one will push you further? The Outpost one will probably push the average player further than the Retribution one with the choice token. Icefield says, or be stupid like me and buy both. Hey, if it makes you happy, that's what matters. All I care about is y'all being happy. All I care about is y'all having fun and being happy. And it's a full-time job. Keep y'all happy when you're playing Star Trek Fleet Command, because the game makes it really tough. Game makes it really tough with all the breaks and the borks. So, do have the event calendar update. None of the bugs have been listed in here, annoyingly, but I will be posting all that stuff here on the Discord and Facebook. The calendar we do have out. Shout out to DW Viper, who has put together the calendar as they always do. And we'll put that up on the Discord as well, and the Facebook page. Y'all just make sure y'all remind me so that I don't forget to do it. So Demon Chris's progression is a salty subject for me at the moment, with me already having maxed my relativity for Ops 50. Fair enough, Chris. Leonard says, I had the wonderful experience of them not allowing my ships to join an outpost. And this is why we need a comp. And I do really want to nail down comp. And here's what, let me grab a pen. I'm on a computer. Why would I grab a pen? Just use the notepad app, you idiot. Here's what I'm thinking. Comp chest. 2,000 of the, and again, I'm shooting high knowing this is going to be too high, but I'm hoping that if I give them a high number, they'll be like, we'll do this instead. So here's what I'm thinking. I want 2,000 retaliation plunder. Aaron says 2,000 isn't high enough. Fair, but if so, there's look, I get where you're coming from, but at the same time, remember that if you come off in what they would regard as ridiculous, then they just completely ignore you. Like, if I came out with something that is like just obvious, oh my God, egregious, then they're not even going to bother looking at it. So you might say 2,000 of the retaliation plunder isn't enough. They're going to say that's too much. So where do I get the amount from? 2,000 will give me 200 premium mirror dust. That's basically what I'm asking. Now, if y'all want me to shoot higher, we can. But I feel like this is shooting high with Scopely. So 2,000 retaliation plunder, 2,000 of the crap. What's the name of the oopsie? Field rations. 2,000 field rations. And 1,200 directives. That's what I think. Now, y'all argue if we should push this up or down. That's the comp that I am going to say, hey, this is talking to the players what I think they need. Do y'all think more or less? Be honest. Vegas is 1,500 directives at the very least. So 1,200 directives is what? 4 starts, right? 2 starts. So, yes, 2 starts. James wants 5 calls. And see, 5 calls is a little greedy. That's 3,000 directives. No way. But I could say, hey, we could do 1,800 directives. Like, I can ask for that. And I still think that could be fair. That's 3 starts. All right? So it's 3 starts. That's a little fair. Should we include Outpost retaliation medals? Generally, having too many things is not an idea. Like, you want to have a comp chest that's 2 or 3 things. So Jurassic Mike says, I feel like a reasonable compensation chest would be 10 shards of Nog, 6 outpost calls, and building mats for the new building for at least 5 levels. 3,600 directives is probably the sticky point they would struggle with. They'd struggle with that one. They'd really struggle with that one. The others, maybe. But I would be honest. Again, my opinion, y'all, let's talk it out. Here, let's put this on the screen. Let's talk it out. I feel like 10 shards of Nog is worthless. I'm not saying Nog's a bad officer. But what is 10 Nog shards doing for anybody? I guess you can argue what's 200 premium mirror dust doing for anybody. But if you ask me, what would I rather have? 10 Nog shards or 200 premium mirror dust? I'm always taking the 200 premium mirror dust. Like, where does 10 Nog shards really get us in the grand scheme of the world? Like, yeah, it's more, and I'm always arguing for more. I just think I'd rather have the premium. We've been struggling with the Outpost. Sure, but is Nog what you should be focusing on in the refinery anyway? So I think the directives are good. We could argue building materials for the OCC. Rin says the directive should be based on how many days it takes them to fix it. That's a fair comment. I mean, currently at 1,800, will depend on which ones you're running. There is a different start cost for different outposts. But 1,800 directives is pretty healthy. That's, of course, assuming they're going to get it fixed. But let's finish an outpost. One chest drop from the outpost itself. Yes, you only get a chest from the outpost. You get currency that goes directly into your inventory for every hostile you kill. All right, cool. Just reading some of the lists that we have here. All right. So the tutorial ones, James, cost 300 to start, but the regular ones, so the G5 or the G6, G7, etc., those cost 600. For those that don't know. Hypa says 18 hours confirmed. No, we're talking about what we should ask for in the comp. So somebody says 1,500 would be 1 independent, 2 regular starts. That seems very fair. I can agree with that. I think the field rations, again, that just gives everybody... Here's why I include field rations for anybody going Rev field rations are worthless. Field rations add up to being a free-to-play 10K task for everybody in Alliance tournaments. And everybody needs free-to-play 10K task in Alliance tournaments. That's why I do that one. Brigadier Jones, thank you for the New Zealand 5. It says 1 to 5 building upgrades plus 5 outpost starts plus 250 prime particles. That's shooting for the moon. No problem with doing it, but that's shooting for the moon right there. That's a lot, in my opinion. Now, people can disagree. I'm fine with disagreement. I welcome disagreement on this channel. We welcome it. That seems a bit much. So just to price that out, though, let's jump back into the Outpost refinery. So let's go over to your prime particles. Let's just pick the mirror one. So 250 prime particles. Which one you wanted to go for here? I mean, that's what, 13 pulls. Well, 13 times 750, that's a lot of plunder. That's a little heavy. Now, on the building upgrades, maybe we can argue that, yeah. But that's pretty heavy amount of retaliation plunder to get 250 prime particles. That's a bit heavy. Now, I'm always down to argue for things. Y'all know me. I love going to bat. Like me and Scopa, we're gonna punch it out. That's a lot. So, yeah. Did 10K task ever appear with all the new tasks and only 3 slots still? Hey, Vosh, I got mine done. On multiple accounts. Really, just as always, it comes down to working with your alliance on rerolls. That's a big one. And shout out to Horde. We're an expert, and I think we have a legit chance to make a push to Masters League this next month. We'll see. Aaron says STFC comp chests are generally low, even compared to other Scopelet games. Shoot for the moon. There are definitely times, and I really find it depends on who you end up talking to. We've had some great comp chests in this game, and we've had some horrible comp chests. Obviously, I want to shoot for good. I want to shoot for a good comp chest. You know what? Let me ask for 4 things. Let's throw in 2,000 common outpost control cores. Usually you want to limit it to 3 or 4 things or 2 things, but I'm going to add a 4th, and we'll do the outpost control core. That would get people about 5-ish levels, 4 or 5-ish levels, depending on what level you're already at for the building itself. There have definitely been some let them eat cake comp chests. Yeah, they've definitely done some good comp chests. Like, I don't want to pretend like they haven't. I would say overall, they balance out to be okay. There have been some great ones. There have been some terrible ones. And I think given these, and they've been very clear, the worse a problem is, the more likely they are to give a really good comp chest. This is clearly a very severe problem affecting a large portion of the game, including the spending portion, which, whether we want to admit it or not, definitely plays into how important that is. So this is an opportunity for us to shoot for the moon. So 47 out of 72 on 56 Borg last night on Outposts. Very nice, Ice Wolf. And did you upgrade all of the Outpost stuff? Or was that just running it naked overnight and you didn't worry about it? Like, I'm not going to watch it, not going to micromanage it. I'm just going to set my ships out and go. So let me pull up the spreadsheet real quick and check the cost of the building just to make sure. Because you do run, you're not, so, because actually, I think as Chris is asking, does it always take common cores? Well, by the fact that there's a name of common core, you know there's going to be something else besides common core. There are rare cores. Let me adjust this. It's right over here. See? You're going to need rare cores, but that doesn't start until the building level 50. So that's kind of irrelevant. You need common cores, regular cores for the first 49 levels. But there's rares later. Go figure. Hey, Quasar, good to see you. Welcome in, my friend. So, welcome in. How'd you get the cores for the building? Just do the loot. What do you mean? What do you mean? You want Tau shards? Yeah, I'll request a full unlock of Tau. I thought we got rid of Common Core math. Here it comes again. Common Core math, the best math. 1 plus 7 equals 53. Yep, I drew it in crayon, so it's accurate. Don't question me. Don't question me. All right. Back into the game. Let's focus. Let's focus. We're getting distracted. You know, too many rabbit trails happening right now. When you start needing the uncommon, rare, etc., do you still need common? No, you do. And that was on the spreadsheet, Demon Chris. That's why I put it up there so you could see it. You need common forever. You eventually start needing rare as well. See? You need common forever. You're always going to need the common core. But eventually you need rare cores in addition. Think of it like your ACC building. Same thing as your Alliance, as your Armada Control Center. You always need the common cores. Eventually you need the rare cores. So, there you go. Hey, Paulo, welcome in. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Hopefully you're doing well. I was just seeing, you said that they just posted a video, but I don't see a video. Are you sure they just posted one? Yep, they did. They just posted a hype video. Well, let's watch this wonderful hype video together. We might as well. I'm going to pause the music and everything. We're going to watch this wonderful hype video together. I'm sure this is going to be amazing. All right, chat, you ready? You excited? I'm sure you are. Here we go. I'm even going to put my headphones on for this. Oh, boy. I'm excited. I'm just so excited. I'm so excited. I can hide it. All right, here we go.
For centuries, we have waited in silence, evolving, refining, becoming. Now retribution stirs. The architects of our exile will face what they created. Perfection was their lie. Transcendence is our truth. We offer you a choice. Accept our gift. Stand with us, or fall beneath the weight of a new order. We are the Node, and our retribution has begun.
Okie dokie. So the Node is just Borg 2.0, and there you go. If only it worked. The cinematic looks great. Hey, everybody, join the game. Go do the nodes.
Now retribution stirs.
It is a good video. Like, actually, in terms of cinematic videos, yeah, thumbs up. It's honestly a solid video. Literally, this thing, though, doesn't work. This thing is broken. That's broken. But it's actually, look, give credit where it's due. It's a good cinematic video. But
we offer you a choice.
Anyway, yeah, I mean, I think it's a good video. I actually like the cinematic. I just wish it worked. And hopefully we'll have all these fixes by the end of the week. I'm very confident we will have all the fixes by the end of the week. But yeah. There you go. There's your cinematic video for the day. Scopely gave us something that worked. Kudos to that. Golf clap. Golf clap. So, join the game, play the video mechanic in 2 or 3 years. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, and look, I'm not going to fault them. I mean, the cinematic team did a good job. Thumbs up to that. No issues. No issues. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a heck of a run so far. I'm going to hop off. If y'all need further help with the game, of course, I'm available as always because love and appreciate you. Hit me up on Discord if you haven't already. I'll be posting all the different things. So join in. Join in on Twitch later today as well if you want more rev, more fun, and more hoopla. Go to roll out. Live long and plunder. Stay safe for the Space Cowboys. Deuces, that's me. Catch you on the next Star Trek League Man video. I appreciate y'all greatly, and I'll see you on the next one.
An even better outro than the intro. For the Empire and glory to your house.